Hey, what's up, guys? This is Two Sisters Unscripted. My name's Caitlin,
And I'm Megan.
and we're super excited we got through that intro because we didn't say who was going to start that. So, as the countdown was happening, we both looked at each other and said at the exact same time, "Who's starting?"
And Caitlin just jumped in like a champ. Made an executive decision, she did.
Yes. But welcome. We hope your week is off to a phenomenal start. And we figured this podcast, we can kind of just keep it a little chill and discuss what might be a little nostalgic for some people, depending on what their answers might be to some of this. But we actually just wanted to kind of potentially take it back based on our answers, but just talk about some different shows, music that we play during certain times, whether that's getting some work done throughout the house, maybe working out,
Falling
maybe
asleep.
falling asleep. So I asked Megan if she wanted to do this topic, and it was funny. The reason why I asked, which everyone is going to be like, "Wow, Caitlin, you're almost 30." Okay, but I think the parents here might actually appreciate it. I I was starting to fall asleep, and I was falling asleep watching I watched the Chicago series, and I started falling asleep. I was like, hold up. I don't want to fall asleep to the Chicago show. It was Chicago PD because I was like, I don't want to miss any of this stuff. But I felt like I needed something on in the background. And everyone was going to laugh at me. But I ended up putting Bluey on.
Listen, the parents out there know Bluey is the jam. Like, try not to curse there. I love Bluey. My kids love Bluey. But there's so many points to that show that just resonate with the adults and the moms and the dads, and it's just a great show. We have found ourselves, especially when we first started watching it and like the newer episodes were coming out, we would put the kids to bed and we'd be sitting downstairs, and 3 episodes later we Sean and I would look at each other and go, holy crap, we're still watching Bluey, and the kids have been in bed for an hour.
Honestly, well, obviously, I was put on to Bluey because of my niece and nephew, but it actually is like a decent show. So just funny that I decided to choose that show to take a nap with just for background music, or noise rather. Definitely sad that it's only 9-minute episodes, but maybe they'll be a little bit longer later on in life. Probably not. But so with that happening, I ended up shooting a text to Meg, and I said, "Well, what do you think about this topic?" She was like, "Good, perfect." But we think that just so many people obviously can kind of relate to this topic, and they have just different shows, and whether it's shows, movies, music, podcast, anything like that, that people just have playing in the background for a variety of reasons. And we just kind of wanted to talk about ours. And, I think a lot of our shows or music might be a little bit nostalgic as well. But I just mentioned what I put on for nap. When I go to sleep, I'll put on some shows too sometimes. I've been sleeping without the TV on recently.
Not I don't think I've said it on the podcast about my sleeping situation with the TV. Um, I have not slept without the TV on since the night mom passed away.
Yeah.
Like, it was just one of those, like, we got home from saying our goodbyes. It's like 3 in the morning, and I talked to you, and then I lay down. It was like every little noise was just so eerie. I'm like, I've never noticed these noises in
Is
my
that
house.
you, Mom? No.
Seriously. Um, and I've just never noticed like the little noises. And we had something happened to be hanging on the front of our bedroom door, and it looked like the silhouette of a person. I was like, I'm done with this. Just not happening. Turned on the TV. My bedroom TV has not been off since. I know. Like, we went away for that wedding this past weekend. We stayed in a hotel. I slept with the TV on. Woke up to some like killer series in the middle of the night, which cool. Like black and white murder mystery thing. Still better than it being dark. Um, but our go-to series lately, to put on when we fall asleep, just because we've seen it so many times, is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. Oh.
But that's also a hard one because
Oh.
depending on what episode you turn on when you're trying to go to sleep, you're falling asleep laughing.
Yeah, you're like, I'm invested. I've seen this 10 times, but I'm
Mhm.
still invested. Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is good. That's a good show, y'all. That
That,
is a good show. When it came to an end, I was devastated.
yeah, we go back
Ah,
and forth between
Captain Holt.
that and New Girl a lot. We go back and forth
Yeah.
between.
New Girl, it's funny. I've actually never watched New Girl, but people are like, it's
I tried
great.
to
You
get you
gotta
to
see
watch it,
it.
but you weren't here long enough. Like you weren't home long enough to
Yeah.
watch, like get into it long enough.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm seeing these little clips on Instagram and I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny.
New Girl's hysterical.
Side note, so funny because Megan was talking about the TV. Well, this has nothing to do with TV, just a funny thing, I think.
Speaking of
I,
TV, this has nothing to do with
well,
TV.
speaking of Megan saying that she had like after
Oh,
mom,
okay.
so like after mom, I don't know what it was. I was in my other apartment. I didn't have a TV in my room. I had to FaceTime my sister every time I took a shower.
She did.
Which is obviously like every day. Um
To the point
and
where she'd call me after work and I'm like, it's shower time.
exactly, because she knew as soon as I got from home from work I am showering. But yeah, I called her every single time. I don't know what it was. I think it's like similar to what you said, just like the eerie feeling of like I lived alone, live
What's
alone,
the song
and
there? Somebody's watching me.
right, and just like I don't know what it was, just being in the shower. I was like, "There's someone outside," like just watching, waiting. Um, but yeah, so I definitely understand that. um, but going back when I go to sleep, Bluey is nap time. Um, Bluey is nap time. Actually, most times when I nap, I just don't have anything on. I'm just like napping. But if I fall asleep to something, it usually it's Friends. I'll
Yep.
put Friends on. It's more kind of like Friends, Everybody Loves Raymond, King of Queens,
Yep.
um, and or Bob's Burgers. I'll put Bob's Burgers on.
That was our go-to before the kids. Like when
Yeah,
like as a background noise, it was definitely Bob's Burgers. But now we're like 4 seasons behind.
that's shameful.
It is. It's awful.
Shame,
Um,
everybody.
well,
Shame.
and a lot of the problem with that is it's one of the shows that Sean and I watch together, and it's very hard to find time where the kids are sleeping that we're both like, let's sit down and watch this because the new episodes you want to actually pay attention to. You haven't seen them. It's not
Yeah,
like the ones that you can just let play in the background.
yeah, and the new episodes are good. I watch them; they're good.
We'll
Missing
get
out.
there.
Shame.
So Sean's been playing some computer game if he's not working on the house when the kids go to bed, and then I've been like, all right, the kids are going to go to bed. I'm going to watch Sons of Anarchy until I fall asleep, which, by the way, it's not a great one to fall asleep to. I have to stop it early and watch something else in between, like 9-9.
Yeah,
But
I think too. I think just. I mean, I think we're choosing these songs too, like out of like that comfort, that did I say songs?
Hmm.
TV shows, sorry. We're choosing these TV shows too out of like that familiarity, that comfort. Like when I watch Friends and basically when I watch those 90s show, I just immediately think of mom.
Yeah,
I
same
think of
here.
dad. I think of like them watching it growing up. And I was never really into it, but then as I got older, I was like, oh, these actually like aren't. They
Well,
have
now
like funny
now we
parts.
understand the adult humor part of it too. It's not just
Right.
like Friends isn't just six friends hanging out. Like they have real life situations and
Yeah.
the
Um,
the hardest show ever, I think, for me to watch come to an end was Blue Bloods. That one crushed me. And I think talked about it on here actually was we watched Blue Bloods with mom and dad. Like mom recorded it and faithfully every week we watched the new episode of Blue Bloods. And I
yeah.
never gave up on that. I watched it every single week. I never fell behind a week except for the last episode. Sean's like, "Are you going to watch it?" And I'm like, "I can't. I
I
can't bring
can't do
myself to let it
it.
end."
Yeah. I
Like
can't do it.
it was one of those shows I said I can't watch the show end. Like this was something that brought the four of us together every week faithfully.
Yeah.
And dad and his crush on Aaron Reagan.
Yeah.
He paused it every time the show started. That's my girlfriend. Mom's like, "We know."
Yeah.
Hit play. Um but that one was and it was a beautiful ending. Like it wasn't sad, it was a beautiful ending. But then I got notification because I follow Donnie Wahlberg on social media. I follow Blue Bloods on social media. There's a new show coming out, and
Oh, I saw that.
it's
Yeah.
a spin-off, and Danny Reagan is the main character, and Donnie Wahlberg, I guess, had a quote somewhere out there that said, "And you know I can't go by myself." That was it, and I'm like, "Ooh, Baez, please tell me it's Baez," because spoiler alert. For anyone who hasn't watched the last episode and you watch Blue Bloods, please turn this off now. He made a comment to Baez about, like, you want to go get pizza after work? Like, just a very sly, quick, like, they were going to end up together comment. And that's how it was going to end. And I've been waiting for that. So,
Yeah, they go to get pizza and they're like, so I'm gonna go to
well,
Boston
no,
now and
no,
you come.
he asked, like, do you want to get pizza or something? And her response was, oh, is that what the kids are calling it these days? Mm hmm.
If
Mm
it
hmm.
just get into the job proposal.
I don't know, but I'm hoping it's Baez. But I hope they all make because a lot of them, like a lot of the actors, keep in touch, and they all seem to be like family. So I really hope that they all at least make an appearance.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Because I didn't want
Well,
that show to end. That show was supposed to last forever.
I know our
Well,
podcast
something
is gonna
happened
turn our
to top that.
podcast.
Sorry.
I was gonna say our podcast is gonna turn into Megan's review of Boston Blue
Yep.
after every episode.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. This is no longer
Anyway.
Two Sisters Unscripted. This is Megan's take. And this week's episode.
Seriously, I'm so excited for it. So excited for it. Anyway, all right.
I
Sorry, back to
think
Caitlin.
no. I mean, we see your passion.
More passion. Here we go again. Dang it.
Um, it's actually interesting because I feel like now as an adult, just thinking about the shows, I feel like as an adult, I took for granted the shows that I loved as a kid. Like I loved Little Bear, and I'm like, I just want Little Bear back in my life. And
I
which
play it for the
apparently
kids.
I think it's on Paramount or Prime. It's on Amazon Prime. But Little Bear, Franklin, and I'm like, wow, it's like I
Out of the
really
box.
yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I mean y'all know all the 90s kids show were like top tier. But I really liked Little Bear.
I was a Barney.
But
I was the Barney age. I played Barney for them the other day. The original. Not the new weird one.
Oh,
Sorry. It's all
I
right.
mean,
It's all right. It's just not Barney.
it's not the OG barn.
It's not.
But do you have anything on, like if you're like cleaning or doing laundry or anything? Is that more music?
Um, I lately, so when I do like when I'm folding laundry, it's usually when the kids are napping or asleep, and I'll throw on Friends or I'll catch up on a new episode of something. And but when I'm trying to like concentrate on like a certain task or something or like doing stuff on the computer, you already know, I turn on trad music, which is traditional Irish
I
music,
was just gonna say Irish. Yep.
and I'll listen to it for hours. And that's what I do. Like if I turn on TV while I'm trying to concentrate on like the computer or something, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna close the computer and watch whatever's on TV and get nothing done. But definitely if I'm trying to like clean or fold laundry, if it's not music, it's Friends or even Psych. Psych's a good one.
Like, yeah.
Dad still, even though he's seen it so many times, will pause the TV and be like, "I found the pineapple." That one. No, I'm trying to think. What else is my go-to? I mean, Sean and I have like different movies we'll watch for specific holidays.
Yeah.
Like Christmas, we have a list of different Christmas movies we like to watch around the holidays. The end of February, we watch Leap Year. That's a good one. Good. It's supposed to be Irish. I don't think anybody in there is really Irish. Um, if you haven't seen the movie Brooklyn, it's really good. Another Irish-based movie. There's a theme in my house, if you haven't noticed. I don't know, like Parks and Rec every once in a while we'll turn on. The Office. I don't know. What about you when you're cleaning? Is it mostly music or is there like a show?
No, it's mostly music because the way my TV is, it's like facing completely the opposite way of my kitchen. And most of my cleaning is going to be done in the kitchen
Same.
or like my bathroom. And it's like, okay, well, both the TV is not near.
Yeah.
so, so it's usually music. Usually, honestly, it really just depends on my vibe for the day. I mean, I feel like I can clean to like really chill music, or I can clean to hype music, or like I can just, it doesn't really matter. Like just music in my ear, I can get the stuff done. But I will say, like, if I have more hype music, I'm definitely going to end up dancing. And it was funny, I went to a soccer game on Saturday with my friend, and we were just talking about race. She goes, "So how was your day?" And I said, I just had like a little dance party in my house, which is true. I will literally hype myself up for workouts by dancing in my house and dancing in the mirror. I'll just hype myself up for the day of just dancing in the mirror. And Saturday in particular, my playlist consisted of Missy Elliott, Sean Paul, Sierra,
Some
Eve.
throwbacks. Not huge throwbacks, like early
No, it's
2000s.
not. It's early 2000, Eve, B2K.
Mm.
Um, take it to the floor. Yeah. So I mean, I kind of like. I mean, same thing with like workout music. Just be more like some hype music for my lifts. I think for my runs, depending on my mood, for my runs, I can do more. I'm starting to get into like being able to just have more chill music versus like when I really first started running, I needed like basin, like I needed to get hyped up to run. But yeah, I think it all just kind of depends on my mood, my vibe for the day. I listen to a lot of R&B. I listen to a lot of Afro beats. That's probably my favorite genre. Burna Boy is hands down my favorite artist, and I love him tremendously. And I would love to go see him in concert. So I honestly listen to like a variety of music. I went to a running club on Tuesday and they were playing all the music and I'm just like singing, and then they started playing gospel music and I'm singing. They had Kirk Franklin and I'm just like, I feel like any genre of music you could put and I could still sing to and dance to, and it doesn't really matter much. But I do, have you ever played any music or anything to go to sleep? Or is it mostly just like TV?
I mean, the last 14 months has been TV.
True.
Before that, like I tried the like calm like meditation stuff every once in a while, like if my head is spinning and I need to just kind of ground myself.
Yeah.
I actually did that a few months ago, but I also had the TV on in the background while I was doing it because I want to turn the TV off. I just muted the TV and had
Certified multitasker.
isn't that the definition of a mom? But I was thinking when you were saying that you what you listen to when you run and everything. If I'm not walking with like a friend or a neighbor, and the kids are actually being calm. I did this a lot when Erin was little and it was just me and her and she was in the stroller. I'd turn on a good podcast.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to before we started our own podcast. I got to get back into listening to more because now once a week I at least listen to ours to make sure it sounds good at 6 a.m. before anyone else listens to it. So
Yeah.
I don't
I
have
listened
to.
to our
We're having a problem talking at the same time today. I don't know what this is gonna sound like when I try to edit it.
I've been listening to ours when I run too. Because I'm like, oh great, the longer ones. I'm like, oh great, perfect. It's just the length I need to get a run done. I was just
There's
curious with the noise though, because I've actually come to like sometimes I'll put on like thunder, like a thunderstorm on my phone, and that actually is common. I kind of like it, but I was just kind of curious if you ever tried that. I like it. I actually when I lived with Adam,
I'm surprised
well,
you were able to like stay calm to that because I would just be singing the Thunder Buddy song from the movie Ted all night long.
oh my god, no, it's it's nice, no, but when I lived with Adam, he would always put on like rain kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I would always hear it through the walls, and I'm like, this thing is loud. And it was just like so. And then it's funny because when Iggy would be like I would sometimes wake up. I always woke up before him, and I would sometimes hear like Iggy like scratching at the door if he like stayed in Adam's room. And when I open it, I'm like, oh my god, am I in the ocean? Like this thing is so loud.
I don't think we talked about Adam yet, so disclaimer, Adam was Caitlin's former roommate. Iggy was his very, very adorable dog.
Yes.
So cute.
Still, he's still a friend of mine. He wasn't just a roommate; he was a friend. But I always say that because I feel like I feel like there's differences. You
Yeah.
know, you can just have
Yeah,
roommates and
no,
friends.
agreed.
He was both. He is both. He's now only friend, no roommate. But yeah, he kind of is the one that got me into trying it out, and it actually it's not bad. Not something that I would do all the time, but not bad. But yeah, I was just curious if you ever tried that with music versus TV for sleeping. But
No.
I ended up falling asleep to this one song one time. It was just really common. Like I put this common song on, and next thing you know, it was in my on repeat song because it never changed and it just kept playing throughout the night. So it was like a common song, but nothing that like I would actively listen to outside of that one moment of sleeping. So it was kind of funny that it's still on my on repeat on Spotify. So I was like, okay.
Speaking of music, I started a playlist for Dad's birthday party that we're throwing him. I have one song in it. Can you guess what it
Who
is?
let the dogs out?
For Dad's birthday? No.
I'm sure he was like a Baha Men lover. Um,
No, he probably got tired of us playing that song on
I
repeat.
know mom loved
I know she
that
did.
song.
Think about it.
It's country.
Nope.
Ain't no wait. Black Betty.
Black Betty is the only song
Black
so far.
Betty.
The only song so far I've added to the playlist. If you guys haven't seen, I haven't put this on the podcast Instagram, but if you go to my personal Instagram, there is a reel of my son Keegan jamming to Black Betty, as he calls it, Bambalam. That's his song. Like he will yell it from the back seat of the car, Bambalam, mommy, Bambalam. Loves him some Black Betty. And that's because of our father. So that is the only song so far I've added to that playlist.
Yeah. And fun fact, he has a black truck, a Chevy. And so the kids started calling him Black Betty. And I just got back to Honda. I love Honda. I just went back to Honda and my car is white. So I have officially named my car Betty White.
Yep. So we have Black Betty and
Betty
Betty
and
White.
Betty White. I love it. I love it. Hey, I think that's a good song to start off with, though. Honestly, just have that on repeat. We don't need nothing else.
I mean, Keegan will just dance to that song for the full 4 hour party. Does
Yeah,
not
yeah,
care. That will be his
100%,
dance floor. He'll ask for the disco ball on. That's
a
all you
hundred
need. It's
percent,
Keegan and Black Betty. Party started.
100%. I think that's sometimes the issue, specifically with music for me. I feel like you mentioned how you get distracted with TV shows, right? Versus music. I'm actually the opposite.
Mm.
I'll get more I'll be like Keegan in that situation where I put a song on and it's either I'm dancing to the song, I'm singing to the song, or I'm making up scenarios in my head that go along to the song, right? So I'm like, we get hype no matter what, or I'm like going through like a devastating emotional situation in my head if it's like R&B or something, I don't know. But with TV shows, I feel like I'm actually able to, especially if I put on a show that I've seen all the time, I feel like I'm actually able to like multitask better and be able to focus on my tasks a bit better compared to music, which is very interesting because I know a lot of people, it's the opposite. I know a lot of people focus more on the music. I mean, focus more on their tasks if it's music. But yeah, for whatever reason with me, the music actually is like more distracting to me than, and I wonder if it's because I'm a group fitness instructor and I dedicate so much time to like making
Picking out the song.
playlists and like curating these playlists that are like supposed to like really be like in tune with the participants. I don't know, but either way, I find that interesting because I would definitely be Keegan in that situation and getting up and dancing all over the place. No
My,
focus with music.
my favorite time to blast music and clean is like the first couple days where it's like 70 plus degrees and I open all of the windows and it's the first time airing out the house in months. That is my favorite time. I will blast music and the kids and I will sing and dance. And I mean, before kids, I didn't care. Open the windows, blast anything. Now we usually listen.
Anything.
Now we usually listen to Irish music because my kids also request it. At least Aaron does so far. But that is my favorite time to listen to music and clean.
I think it's a solid time, and we're coming up on that time. So
I
your
can't
your
wait.
moment is almost here.
Upstate New York, we're getting teased. We're getting like 60-degree days and we're like out there with our t-shirts on to taking our walk and the next day it's snowing.
Yeah, in North Carolina here, they're I can't relate, but everyone is struggling with allergies. Their eyes are itchy and watery. The pollen's bad. Like our cars are being completely covered in pollen.
At least you guys have pollen. We don't even
Yeah,
have that yet.
I can't relate to the itchiness. The thing I'm thankful. Like the only thing that happens is I go to bed, I wake up, and my throat's a little like
Mm-hmm.
a little, but no, I step out, my eyes are fine, and I'm like, huh, this is nice. And then everyone's like, it's the worst time of the year, and I'm like, this crisp breeze right now, enjoy it. Summer's gonna be hot, but I'll play some music out there. No, we'll get bumping to Petey Pablo. North Carolina, raise up, take your shirt off, swing around your head like a helicopter. Hey.
Somebody's overtired.
I'm laughing the way my sister looked at me. I'm always overtired. But if y'all have any recommendation, we should put a poll on Instagram. If y'all have any recommendations on music that helps people focus, maybe, or just like what your go-to background noise television show is, or your comfort TV show is, we'd love to hear about it because we might be the same one. We might
I'll
all be
do a
90s
few.
baby listening to this.
I'll do a few question boxes over the next couple of days. Like, what's your favorite comfort TV, or what music do you play when you clean? And
Yeah, we love to.
or
We
polls.
love.
Do you prefer TV or music while cleaning, or something like that? Speaking of music, did I tell you the game I made up at the wedding I went to the other day?
You made up a game.
Yes, it was a strange wedding. Very nice, but very strange. Um, while they were serving the food, they were playing like all 90s country music. I mean, you know me. I loved it. I love good 90s country music. But I'm sitting there and I'm singing along and Sean's laughing at me. He doesn't know 90s country at all. And so every time a song came on, he's like, "Is this Garth Brooks?" I'm like, "No." They didn't play one Garth Brooks song. He just kept guessing Garth Brooks. He was never right. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, "No, it's Kenny Chesney or Alan Jackson." And I'm sitting there, I'm singing the one, and he's like, "Is this Garth Brooks?" I was like, "No, give me a second." I was like, "Diamond Rio." And I'm like, double checking my work. And he's like,
Double checking my
"I
work.
am."
Okay.
And so, like, we're Googling who the artist is, and he's like, "That's right." I'm like, "Yes, yes." I'm texting Dad, like, "You'd be so proud of me right now." Raised right. 90s country music, I knew them all. I didn't get one wrong. So proud of myself.
Wow. So
That's
that's
what I
what
did
you
at the
did at
wedding.
the wedding.
Yep.
All right. Remind me to never invite you to mine. I'm just kidding. You have to plan the whole thing. Um,
You know I love party planning, but I planned a wedding.
exactly. Now I'm just trying to get her to plan my 30th birthday, y'all. So I know she just gave me the eyes. She's like, this is hard, but that can be another poll. Where should Caitlin
Okay.
go?
So we talked about how my sister is a pain in the ass when it comes to buying gifts for her, right? She's just a pain in the ass in general. It's very hard to do anything. I pick a place and she's like, "No, no, no. I already had this place in mind. So why do you ask?" What's the point? "Megan, will you plan my party?" "Sure. What about this?" "No. I think we're going to do this."
I don't, because I don't think my sister is bringing substantial evidence of different locations. I
A whole
I would.
notepad of it. We just haven't had it. Anytime we have a chance to sit and actually talk, we're recording.
Okay, so we're gonna sit and talk about this because I want hiking. I want outdoor adventures. I want maybe one night to go to like a club or something. Bar, club, kind of outside, something. I want beach. I want good vibes. I want peace. Is that too much to ask?
Yes.
No! It's not. I'm thinking island. Just gotta figure out which island. All right, y'all. Well, y'all can be part of this. Y'all can be part of this planning now too, okay? Caitlin's
All
30th
right.
birthday adventure.
Time out. We have to get through Dad's first. I can. One party at a time.
After Dad's 60th birthday bash.
One party at a time here.
This isn't a party. I told you it's what did I call it earlier?
I don't.
Oh God. Yeah, it's not a party. It's a
I have selective hearing.
I apparently have selective memory too because I can't remember. It's fine. But anyways, y'all,
She'll text me later and be like, "I remember."
I'm going to bed
Like I
right
did that with
now.
her. I did that with you the other day, and I couldn't remember my third grade teacher's name. Hours later, I text you. I remembered.
She did. She
Mhm.
really did. My sister's memory is actually top tier. It's really impressive. Hers and my father's, our fathers. Mine, I'm kind of just like, I don't really know because I don't. I don't know.
No, I'm really good with like dates. Like I can remember dates and times. Oddly,
They
I
actually say, I know where the end here, but they said research kind of points that people who have like Alzheimer's or dementia or like TBI stuff happening, they could end up watching like kids shows, right? Because they're it's just different stimulation. It's and I said this because I was always on this floor, and you would always hear the Bluey theme song. I swear to God, you would always hear the Bluey theme song. And this is what I learned in school is like you see a lot of this with folks who are having these things and they'll watch kids shows just because like either it's cognitive decline or cognitive impairments or anything like that, and they're just not their
Can
brain's not
you
at the level
can you
that
put it in your will? If something happens to me and I end up with dementia, can you please just play Bluey on repeat?
what's crazy though is I started laughing because I I turned to the people. I was like, and what if you watch it now? like no cognitive no cognitive impairments that I'm aware of. Like no decline. Like we just watching it now. And we just kind of chuckled at it because it's really interesting because I was talking to people who are also my age and it was like we all kind of watched like one of these shows, whether it was like Bluey or something, whatever. A lot of us did have like obviously like kids in the family that we kind of got whatever, but it was also like, that's a valid question. Like we're already watching this, but I honestly think I think it's just our generation. I don't know. Maybe it's suppressed trauma and we're just trying to suppress it even further and watch Bluey.
All right, one more show that I tried to turn on for the kids the other day and they had zero interest, but when we were younger, we watched it like crazy. Zaboomafoo.
Oh, they didn't f with it.
They Aaron's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's a lemur." And she's like, "Okay."
Okay, I
Like
will slap you. I'm just kidding.
and I'm like, "It's Zaboomafoo." Like I'm all excited to find it on TV and it's like,
Yeah.
"No, Mommy Blippy."
Oh, Blippy. These kids.
Everyone our age remembers Zaboomafoo.
All I know is when I get there, we're gonna take out that hoop and I'm gonna dunk on them.
Whoop.
The little baby hoop that y'all have in the house. That's the only hoop I can dunk on. Come on now.
I don't have a hoop.
Are you
Okay.
sure?
Anyway, listeners, we're gonna argue about this off of the off of the podcast because we could sit here all day and she'll swear I have one and I don't.
She does. Anyways, let us know about your songs. Let us know about my 30th birthday party, vacation spot, island. We thinking tropical because it's in November. We thinking tropical.
Make sure it's free.
We'll keep you updated if that hoop is a thing or not. I'm pretty sure it is. But I hope you guys do something that brings you joy this week.
Make sure
And
you
listen,
watch some throwbacks. Go back and watch Friends or Everybody Loves Raymond or hell, just go and watch Bluey. You're gonna love it. Kids or not.
yeah. All right, y'all.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.